This works.
Go to the
It's
link
loading.
everybody shared, you know.
It's a lot more complicated using this Twitch than it was with the other.
You're still offline, yeah. Oh, no, it's live.
Okay.
But
I can only hear MidnightCommand. I can't hear anybody else. Okay, it's working now. Awesome. Let's restart. Rewind. Alright. Anyway, I am MidnightCommand, as everybody knows. We also have with us Jano, Pascal Wolf, Nova,
Hi again.
Koi, Heather, and King Challenger. Back to what we were talking about, or I was talking about earlier that everyone heard. I guess there was some downtime with the thorium drop, and it was the other night around 1 o'clock my time, Eastern time. And Koi was telling us about it, about how, you want to go ahead and give us a briefing on it?
Right slap bang in the middle of the drop. There was downtime because people were getting their platoons stuck in battle, and I read somewhere that people were having like their medals disappearing as well. I don't know, I don't know the details on that, but they solved it during a maintenance, which was only a bit less than half an hour, so it wasn't too bad. They fixed it pretty quickly actually. But
Yeah, that's always good to have a quick fix. Also, do you want to introduce yourself now to everybody? Tell them what you do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm Koi, and I'm an admin at the War Commander Wiki, direct competitor of the player guides. I don't know what they're doing with that. And I basically just moderate everything, and when I have the time I create new pages since no one else wants to, and just set everything up.
Interesting. So, you've been playing War Commander for a while now, haven't you? You want to tell us how long?
Yeah, just over 2 years.
About 2 years? It's longer than me, so I can't say much. Anyway, what level are you?
37.
37, alright. And what is your favorite event, since this is an event show we're talking about mostly?
I'm thinking that I reckon that Red Sky was one of my favorites, just mainly because like just the sheer carnage that you'll face during attacking. Just call me crazy, but
Did you find it difficult to do it?
Yeah, I found it difficult, but it was fun.
So it was the challenge that made it fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to this event, since we were talking about events. Has anyone like to start, actually? We've got the Spectre. It's going to be a last chance unit this event. Jano, would you like to talk about the Spectre any?
yeah, let's go for the Spectre then. Alright guys, girls, this the Spectre's a last chance unit. Obviously it's been away for the last couple of events because it was unique, and so are the rest of the unique units are exactly the same, locked away until they decide to make it a last chance unit, up the price. I believe the price has been up purely because the event they actually came out on was a lot harder than the event that has been upped in the price now. So the XP are more or less a bit of balance, if you want to call it, because Dead Point event was one of the hardest events that came out. You know, where you got the Fortress Waves. The Fortress Waves have literally just been literally just come out as well, which means that we're just still trying to get used to it. Everybody was trying to get used to the Fortress Waves, especially with the timer countdown. Whereas before we could just go in there and take our time hitting bases and then get the XP out, you know, 2 or 3 hours later. But now Dead Point, they changed it all up where you only had so much time. as of the Spectre itself, it's one of the best units to grab. And you know, if you think the price is a bit too steep on this event, the event itself isn't exactly that hard in comparison to Dead 2. So I don't think it's going to be too hard for the guys that really want the Spectre. And if you're a low level expected to get this Spectre, then you know, good luck to you if you can get it, because it's really not a low level unit. First of all, it costs 40 mil to build. So are you going to be able to build that unit in the first place? Will you be able to hold 40 mil as a low level player? Probably not, because you won't have your storages maxed out. So you probably won't even have your CC maxed out. So yeah, bear in mind about that, guys. And then you ain't going to be able to max it out purely because of the resources that comes out of them, that cost to upgrade it. You know. Correct me if I'm right, Nova. I'm sure you're pretty well experienced in this, and Pascal, and anyone else that knows anything about the Spectre. It's a very, very expensive unit to upgrade. It's a very expensive unit to build, and it's a very expensive unit to repair.
Yes, it is definitely for someone who does not mind constantly searching for resources. I mean, you know, 90% of the time that you get resources, you're going to be using it to upgrade other things and so forth. But when you have the Spectre, 90% of your time getting resources is just going to be to repair that thing, to reuse it.
Exactly. So if you're not a high enough level that's going to have the ability to upgrade it, make it with the 40 mil that it costs to make, you know, it's really pointless for you to go for it in the first place, and you shouldn't be expected to actually reach that far up in the waves. The upside to it, if you do get it, and you have got all the resource and the tech that's needed to actually get it, then you're going to be a pretty powerful player. You know, if you get to learn how to fly it, if you get to learn how to use it in combination with other units. My best combination is Spectre and missiles, either corrosions or Peacemaker, as Nova was stating earlier on in my attack logs that I posted. Yeah, Spectre and missiles and Spectre and missiles. There's no need to use any ground units because you're just ending up having to get your ground unit sniped. What's the point of getting the ground unit sniped when you're going to get that much amount of resource out of these guys with the thorium, the infamy, and then you can go and rebuild that same missile again and repair your Spectre, build that, you know, build it out of whatever you got out of your enemy, and then go and attack another enemy with identical thorium and resource payout. So basically, the Spectre's paying for itself and a lot more if you're hitting the right players. So, you know, missiles and Spectre will get you pretty far in the game, as many people that's encountered me in the battle so far.
Till this event. Till this event, because if you unlock the right stuff, then maybe you can protect yourself.
Possibly.
Jana, you've done the preview server. What would you recommend? I've had a lot of people asking me, what, as middle range players, levels 25
I'd recommend
to
you go for
29.
the Valkyrie schematics or the Valkyrie schematics. That's going to be a very, very useful unit. I managed to use it against a player in preview, and I had quite a few of them in my base. I had this suicide vest on them, and this guy sent a load of Gatling trucks to counter. I thought to myself, you know what, I want to see what these Valkyries can do, and the Valkyries were annihilating the suicide trucks. Alright, he was killing my Valkyries at the same time, but I was killing his Gatling trucks at the same time. So it was give or take, you know. At least I was doing, and then when he actually came in with his mega tanks, he had no AA units anymore because all my Valkyries killed him, and whatever leftover Valkyries I had was just annoying the hell out of his mega tanks. He ended up like using 8 platoons of mega tanks plus some unique units. This is only in preview, I mean, so you know the guy could easily just coin himself again and then just come back up. But it just goes to show that the Valkyrie schematics are pretty useful, especially with the plasma cannons on there. There was one video that I created, and I stated that the plasma cannons wasn't working. I believe now that Fixeye have actually fixed that issue now. So on the last on the last preview, the plasma guns on the Valkyrie were shooting at the air. I wasn't too sure because I wasn't in that preview, but from what I remember them saying, it's been fixed.
So Valkyrie's kill air, or the Valkyrie plasma shoots at air now as well as the base units.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the purpose of them.
That's brilliant, yeah. And that's something that a low level can easily get. Did the schematics work on the regular Valkyries as well as the elite ones?
Yeah. They'll work on the regular ones, but obviously they'll only be shooting at the air units, not ground.
Okay. Right.
That's why I was a bit confused at first when the plasma cannon would shoot at ground units, not at air, because if they only got the regular ones, then obviously the plasma cannon is going to be useless on it. But it did state on the actual stats of it, on the description of it, that it shoots at air units, you know. And I made sure it was like, I printed it out that it wasn't shooting at air when it should have been.
Okay.
Well, it was killing the behemoths quickly in your video, John.
Sorry, mate?
It was killing the behemoths quickly in your vid.
Oh,
the plasma beams, yeah.
Well, the behemoths die quickly anyway because they're weak against bullets. You know, with the plasma there, it was just speeding up the process then. But yeah, you're right. It was killing the behemoths pretty fast.
Interesting.
Well, overall about the Valkyrie schematics, I think this event is pretty important also for the lower levels. Because,
Sorry.
Oh, Skype? No, we are in Google Plus. But no, I think for the lower levels also, if you cannot catch the Spectre, I strongly suggest you get the Valkyrie schematics because you can protect yourself against any air unit. If you equip the Valkyries with the Stinger missiles, it gets hard and the extra range, because that's included too. I think it's hard for every air unit to come to your base with elite Valkyries. So there is a small counter against all air in this event if you play correctly.
Has anyone got any idea what the new wave is to actually unlock the Spectre? Obviously it's 55.
It really depends on what you decide to hit, like what outpost levels and so on. It can vary greatly. It just depends.
Let's put it this way, buddy. If you hit like 60 outposts all the time from point go, you'll be able to unlock the Spectre at wave 55 or 54, one or the other.
Right.
But if you're only hitting the specifications that it's asking you to hit, then you're only going to be you'll probably have to reach like wave 60, 65 to actually be able to unlock the Spectre.
Till how high is the outpost this event? Because you're talking about outpost 60.
As far as you go, because I say 60 to start off with. Let's say you're about to hit your first outpost, and it says go and find yourself an outpost 5+ to hit, right? So if you go and hit a 50, a 60, or a 65, a 60 and a 65 is one of the most easiest outposts that I found in preview. So I just continuously hit them until I bypassed that wave, and I had to hit a 70 outpost, a 75 outpost. But from basically whatever wave it started from, wave 5 outpost, all the way up to 60 wave, or outpost, sorry, then I just kept on hitting outpost 60. Nothing less and nothing more. And I was getting 1100 XP out of each outpost, 60. So,
are you taking any damage in the 60s?
No, I wasn't taking any damage with the Spectre at all. I was taking it out in one attack and I wasn't taking any damage. Right. And that was just with the Spectre, there was no need for ground units. Right. But obviously you gotta be like properly flying around that thing and just not suiciding.
Yeah.
A lot of clicking.
Now, from what I understand, also the Spectre's gone down to 55k as of right now, according to Kehos and Bert. That's what they posted. It's going to be the final price. but I don't know if it still, I guess, can change because it's not the final event.
Exactly. You can still, you know, they can say that it's final until you can say it's final once it's on live. If it's not on live, then don't say it's final this year. You know, you never know. Kickstarter might end up reducing the price of it just purely by them feeling sorry for the guys. But I don't know.
Now,
like I said, if you really want to get your Spectre, I'd recommend you go and find yourself a high level outpost from the start go of hitting outposts. You know, and then by the time you get to, like, say, stage 50, you'd be so used of the high level outpost that you won't have a problem hitting them anymore.
Yeah.
It's just the biggest tip I could give anyone right now. Just start hitting the highest outpost you can see on the map to gain yourself more XP at the earliest stages.
also, kind of from what I understand, this is supposed to be somewhat of a fix to the Spectre problem that a lot of people were complaining about. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really eliminate the issue that's already going on, but I guess it does kind of reduce the amount of people who are actually going to have it. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Yeah, I think you have to have a level 10 tech. You also have to be able to get the points. Now, I mean, with this event, you can get help because the outposts and stuff, like friends can hit them, and then, like a low level, you can go finish it. But if you don't have the tech center, you can't get it. So, I don't know. I don't really know how it's a fix. I guess it just kind of prevents spamming of it. And that's also why it's more points. Yeah. Do you guys think that possibly this new hover tank and maybe the Volk schematic could help a little bit against the Spectre as well? Okay, hold that thought for a second. Yeah, and it was working before. Okay, they're hearing it now. You guys are good. Technical difficulties, I
The
swear.
Hercules were too much damage repair if you use them against Spectre. Yeah.
Since
You hear
since the Humvees came out with the modifications on them, I haven't had much issue with the Spectres anymore.
Me either.
I mean, I use the Humvees. The repair time's fast. They're fairly inexpensive, and to be honest, they got quite a bit more health, almost 3 times the health of the of a Stinger. And
Plus they shoot a lot faster.
They shoot a lot faster.
And not only that, they once they get killed, they spawn two more Stinger crews. So.
Yep. So you're actually getting 3 for the price of 1.
Yep.
So I've, I was just telling Jano earlier, I had a guy attack my base today with the Spectre and 4 Peacekeepers, and he was just able to get just over 1 star for 60%, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's a good hold up my base did on that.
Did you see what they do to Raptors? They annihilate Raptors instantly. They're not even were able to reach my defense line. I put five Humvees. They killed 7 Spectres in 2 seconds. It was unbelievable when I saw them.
No, but do you have all Humvees in your base?
Who, me?
No.
Yeah. What else do you have in your base that can Humvees?
Me or Nova?
Nova.
I've got Humvees. As far as for air, I've got a couple hidden flak tanks, not too many, but they're nice because they got to hunt for them. They don't know where they're shooting from, so you got to, a couple of those, keep them on their toes. And then I've got 2 Hercules just mixed in there. I've got I don't know, maybe I want to say 8 or 9 Stingers spread out, and then the rest pretty much just Humvees and my towers.
Okay, so again, a combination of...
Oh yeah, it's mostly relying on the Stinger missiles themselves, because that's what I have the most of. It's just multiple things shooting them. I have the Humvees that are shooting them, and I also have the Stingers and the towers. I also got a couple customized elite rifle or elite heavy gunners in the towers with some fire bullets. Those help out for the guys coming in with the Hellstorms and the Hellfires. The Stingers work good on them, but to be honest, if they were to remove the Spectre and everybody was to go back to what it used to be, where the Hellfires and the Hellstorms were what they were coming at, I would strictly go with the heavy gunners because they do real well against those missiles.
You're right.
Yeah. True, but I see the riflemen. I have a lot of Spectres in my base the last weeks, but I put some riflemen and machine gunners in my towers, and if I look at the riflemen, what kind of damage they do, it's unbelievable, because it looks like the riflemen do more damage to the Spectre than the machine gunners.
They do.
Yeah, they do more damage.
The riflemen are way stronger.
They also, you can have more of them and less space, well, because they take less space.
Yeah, I think you get, what do you get, 5 riflemen for 2 heavy gunners?
The heavy gunners, they take up, I think...
25,
40.
isn't
25,
it?
yeah,
40.
And then...
No, the riflemen are 20.
The 25.
The machine gunners are 20
They're not
and the
numbered,
riflemen are 10.
25.
Okay, so 4 for 2, or 2 for 1. But the problem is with the elite riflemen, they do a lot more damage. They fire a little bit slower because they're basically the single shot. But they also have the elite heavy gunners have that range, and if that little bit of extra range is more time shooting at the missile. It's only a couple extra shots, but that little bit of extra shots, does a good amount of damage as far as a missile, even like a corrosion or a peacekeeper. That little bit of extra time it's got firing on that helps out big time.
And Alex, what do you have in your base to protect against Spectre?
I did have my bolts in, and also I've got some elite heavy gunners with the fire effect under my buildings, and a few elite riflemen.
Is it effective, Ro?
Yeah. Jano attacked the other day. The Spectre, I don't know, it was on well below the last bar on it. Oh, and also I've got at the moment 5 Stingers in my tower, max towers.
Okay.
And that was effective for me versus the Spectre.
Yeah, it caused a lot of damage. That's for sure.
Yeah. I got a combination too. You know, I got Elite Snowman, and I got Santa, and I got some snowballs. No, it's all about, you know, playing around. We are high levels, and we like to combine with stuff and play with stuff. You know, not focus on one point. So, but lower levels, please listen to this, because it's very important. You know, because if the level 30s are aiming for the Spectre, you're gonna need protection in your base. Because trust me, we get the beating of the Spectre also. So I think we'll move on to the next topic, because everybody's quiet again.
Yeah, I want to do a quick shout out to the new CM. It's CMK Haas. It's actually a female, and she actually posted a couple links that she had pictures of herself. She has pink hair. Didn't know if it
Rock baby.
So welcome if she ever sees this. Also, there's new event prizes, the hover tank, which we really haven't talked that much about yet. So, who here has actually tested out the hover tank? Anybody other than Janet?
Yeah, I have. Other than me.
Don't sleep, sleep, bro. Don't sleep.
Well, I guess you're gonna cover this topic as well. Have fun, because I don't know anything.
Okay.
About
the hover tank is an extremely useful piece of kit from what I've seen. On one of my videos, I used it as a pure attacking unit only. I could have had other combinations in there, but I just wanted to see, and I wanted to get everyone else to see what it was like in attacking mode. So I just purely had hover tanks attacking the base. Obviously, I had the Spectre and.
What level was it in your video, bro? What level were they? In the video you spammed the base with all the hovers.
Oh, you're such a dick, ain't you? It doesn't matter what level they were. Anyway, regardless, they did pretty good after I used like the Spectre to soften up the base, and then I used the corrosion missile to soften it up even more. I could say that I used the support unit, but someone kind of quoted me on that and said a big support unit. Yeah, okay, that was quite a big support unit. But the mega tanks managed to, the hover tanks managed to actually get in there and smash up the base eventually at 100%. Obviously, all the wing drones and the Reaper drones that was coming out of the drone silo got annihilated pretty easily. Plus, the guy had like elite riflemen and Valkyries all laid around his base, so that what was it? Missiles and a Spectre could not just go in there and smash it up alone. So I used 10 hover tanks to go all the way around the base, cleared the entire base first, and they did an awesome job at clearing out all the outer units that would have annihilated the Spectre or any missiles coming in. As you all know, it can hit air and ground units, so you don't have to worry about needing Gatling trucks with it. So you're saving yourself space there when you're going in just to clear, any Valkyries or any drone silos and stuff like that. You've got no worries on that. Plus, okay. Plus, they're pretty powerful against buildings. As you can see in the video, they've got more DPS filter against buildings than actual units itself. So it looks like they're actually meant to be used to take out buildings. Alright, from looking at the stats of it, on the damage filter wise, it's like amber on air units and vehicle units. Pretty good against infantry and buildings. So, you've got to bear that in mind as well when you're going up against the vehicles and the air units. That it's not going to do an extremely lot of damages against him.
Yeah, guys and girls, also, please go watch Paul Console his fits, because if you want to have an impression, go there, because he's excellent at his work, so please check it. Paul Console.
Also, I used it for defending in a base, and there was a variety of units that I ended up defending against. One of them was the dreaded 4 Havoc move that Kixeye keeps putting in our bases when we're defending against events, and they seemed to be working pretty good against the Havocs because they're not doing a lot of damage against the hovercrafts, and they are obviously a good. They're also a good bait units, so you can bring in the hover units closer to your other air defenses and get them shooting at the hover, Havocs. So I don't know. I'm sure you've seen some of it where I used I used them to kill ground units, mega tank, and they work pretty good. You know, they've got a variety of decent uses. You can use them in defensive and you can use them in attack. I'm sure when it fully comes out and people get to max it out, they'll find out some really good use out of these units, especially maybe even in platoon battles. You know, because a lot of people tend to, you might just want to stick one hover tank in each of your platoons, just so that you can actually run rings around the air units that would normally come at you. Bearing in mind it shoots and moves at the same time, so a big thumbs up to that, guys.
Yeah.
Is there
You too.
any
Nice
turret
video.
that can't hit it?
Sorry?
Is there any turret that can't hit the hover tank? So
All the
obviously if
turrets
it
can
hovers,
hit, all the turrets can hit the hover tank.
all of
Flag-
them
flag turret.
can
Just because,
right.
Flag turret.
just because it's hovering, it doesn't mean that it's not going to take any splash damage. It will still take splash damage. The Spectre can still kill it. Any like say mortar turrets can still hit. Rocket barrage can still hit. Flame turrets can still hit. Shock turrets obviously can still hit it. All of it can still hit.
Right.
It's just like a mega tank, apart from it's immune to, just like a mega tank, apart from it's immune to landmines, and it can shoot at air and ground. That's basically
Right.
what it is, or like a Challenger, but with greater health.
The little comment that they actually have for it is fast and agile on the battlefield. The hover tank glides safely above landmines. Its 100mm barrel and mounted Stinger launcher make it a threat to both ground and aircraft. And it is actually the most expensive of the 2 prizes that you can get.
Do you know something? I've got a funny feeling they're going to bring in the schematics for the Stinger units that can actually hit ground units. Now you're saying that where it's got a Stinger on there, a Stinger launcher that can hit ground and air units. I reckon the next whenever they bring out the schematics for the Stinger units, they'll be able to hit. They'll put a component on there that can hit ground units.
Yeah. A lot of, obviously the Valkyries have got obviously ground and airs though, if they're the elite one. With the mortar and stuff, the plasma cannon on them, they started to adapt that with the schematics.
It's a little odd how they're changing things up a little bit now. You know, like the plasma used to be always just ground units, and now, you know, you've got the Volks and you've got the Hercs that have the plasma. Now, the Hercules, I never really used them. Does the plasma hit air with them?
Yeah, the Hercules hit air with the plasma shoulders on them.
Okay. So they're supposed to be similar to the Valkyrie, the way that that's set up.
Maintenance
So
coming
guys,
up, guys.
just anyone that's watching this right now or whatever, the game is about to go down in a bit on a scheduled maintenance. Basically, that's going to be the event basis coming out soon.
Hang tight.
Yeah.
That was Kingfisher. Thanks, buddy.
Is there
I just said it.
any custom on the Volks that so they can hit the missiles at all?
If you have the Stingers, they can hit missiles.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh yeah,
It was
the Stinger.
correctly.
I'll list off what the Volks actually have. You have a belt feeder, which is fire rate increase. It's plus 40% fire rate, the level 1. All the stuff I'm going to list is level 1. You have precision barrel, and it's plus 5 range. You've got the, let's see, sawed off barrel, which is plus 5 splash and wider cone of damage. Be interesting. You've got turbine propulsion, and it's plus 5% movement speed and 10% damage to aircraft. They're still really geared towards air, it seems to me. You've got balanced blades, 5% movement speed and 10% damage to infantry, 10% to vehicles. So that helps a little bit gear them towards other units. Thorium injectors, which is 10% movement speed and 5% damage to all. Stinger cannon, which adds the stinger cannon to it, of course. And then you've got mortar, which adds mortar cannon. And let's see, you've got plasma cannon, which adds the plasma. Plated suit, which is minus 5% damage from aircraft. Kevlar suit, fun, minus 5 damage from ground units. Don't know if I'd ever use that. Explosive suit, it adds any explosion on death. Units fly into an enemy on death, which I think is actually one of the coolest features of this. I don't know about any of you guys if you like it at all. The Thunderbolts, I believe, also have something similar to this. That whenever they die, they fall and kill whatever they're hitting, or do damage to them at least. Heather, did you want to talk about the Behemoth schematics, now that we're talking about schematics? Okay. Sorry, Heather, you can go on again.
They got that, yeah?
Yeah. Fun stuff.
So, Bravo 20 upgraded his behemoths because I wanted him to do it first, and then I was going to sort of copy what he did. But he did the barrel with the smooth barrel with the added range. He did the the armor against the air. He did the increased acceleration or increased movement, I think, and the bullets that shoot the cryo. And we did a few tests with it. We did, first of all, with one plat of his behemoths to one plat of my megas, and he destroyed all my megas. Now these had the new what are they called? The new missiles on them, the new ones we got in the last event.
Warheads.
Yeah, the warheads. That's it. Yeah, thanks, Alex. And the double strike action on them, and he was able to kill all 5 of my megas in a matter of seconds. And all of his behemoths were still green. He then went on and killed 5 of Pascal's enforcers, which were
megas.
Levels as well. Okay. So, and then he went up to the enforcers. The enforcers were Vet 13.
Yeah.
Yep. And killed all of them and still had 2 left. He then went on to do a video that he posted in Freedom Flyers and on WC Tech page. And he tested it against the same behemoths against E-Megas, Lasers, E-Gats, Honey Badgers, Challengers, Spider, and the Crusader, and they were still all green. Now the Spider and the Crusader, he had to end the attack because they don't shoot very well at them. But the rest of them, it just killed them instantly. He then went on to do a level 35 rogue and did the entire rogue flat with the behemoths on Ruby and killed the entire rogue with the behemoths still surviving. So, to be honest, they don't replace megas. There's still things they can't shoot as well. But especially things with bullets still, they are, do have a weakness there. They can't shoot the Spider and the Crusader as well, and do significant damage there. But they do a great job against, especially other plats, and especially against the power weapons, such as the plasma and the laser.
There's actually quite a few, I was just checking it out, there's quite a few upgrades for it that allow for it to handle the bullets a little bit more. looks like there's some armors and some things to make it more resistant to bullets, specifically the engine upgrade.
That was interesting. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Trying to get to it now. They've got the they've got a thorium hardened armor that once it's maxed out, it's 20% less damage taken from bullets, and then the Magnum engine. Oh no, is that my bad? Wrong one. There's another one in here too somewhere.
You're right. It is engine one. The reinforced engine parts. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that's the one.
Armor against the bullets, which surprised me that they'd have an armor part in the engine concept, but evidently it looks as if it would be a great tool once we get all these things unlocked. Anybody else unlocked the behemoths at all? What have you found?
No, I haven't unlocked the behemoth schematics.
Well, from my knowledge, the reinforced engine parts reduced damage from bullets by 50% at level 1, so that's pretty good. I think it maxed out at minus 70%. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But
well, I'm still in the process. It does take. The one nice thing I thought about the behemoth upgrades were the fact that there's loads of room. You can max out almost everything to level 5 and still have more than enough room to put it all on there. Whereas, like with the megas and some of the other schematics, you can only get 1 or 2 things that are completely leveled up and be able to put them in. Like my megas, I can only get the warheads and the double strike action. I don't have any room for the anti-mine treads, which I love, or the armor, the heavy-duty armor, which we didn't invent for.
2,600 space.
Sorry?
2,600 space you have.
Yeah, which is a brilliant amount of space, and I hope that maybe they upgrade the space to the rest of the units as well. That'd be nice.
Has anybody else been having issues with the frequent DCs and flash crashes? Sorry.
Loads of flash crashes. Loads
Constantly.
of them.
Absolutely constantly.
No, don't tell.
Well, at least I'm not the only one, because I know it's been driving me crazy, and it sounds like it's been driving a lot of other people crazy as well. Oh dear. I don't really know of any resolutions to this. There hasn't been anything posted. It really seems like it's on Kickstarter's side, to be honest. And I hate to say that because, I mean, they've been great about, fixing a lot of the issues in the past. But hopefully, maybe this update will help a little bit as well. Is there
I don't know if they're gonna get rid of those flash crashes. They seem like they've been plaguing this game for quite a while now.
Yeah, they have been, but it seems like it goes in waves, like when it's worse and when it's, I don't know.
I agree with you, Ashley, as well, that it goes in waves. As far as, like, I remember there was a time 2 years ago when your plots would barely move, and you were getting disconnected 4 or 5 times during the same attack. And then it got actually pretty good for a while, and then now it's back to being fairly bad.
Yeah, but it's not that worse. It's not that bad as then the time, because then the time was really, oh my god.
I'm pretty sure that once they get all the bugs worked out, they immediately try to upload more. Because it sure seems like every time it starts to run smooth, there's an update, and then we end up back taking a couple steps backwards for a little while.
I agree. It does seem to. It would be nice if you could put out things and have it work properly. And I'm sure they feel the same way. I mean, they just have to put it out, and then with the more stuff they add, the more they have to dig through to figure out where the issue's at and fix it. And so
I think it's all issues together, because you will see if you play a couple of hours and you're active fighting, you will see that your Spectre goes slow down. It's your charge buffer is getting full. So you need to reboot your laptop or desktop sometimes too. It's not only Kickstarter's side. because there's a lot of units, big units that takes a lot of data. For example, if you have a rifleman, is pretty active in the base himself, So it's worked both ways, and it's not only our fault, but it's Kickstarter's fault too, because I think, with that amount of data that you use in one player's game, I think they have to use a bigger server, give them more space, or bigger processors to go with the flow. But probably that costs a fortune.
Does anybody else, and this is kind of like way out there, but does anybody else feel that these new items are like getting bigger in size? Like, I mean, if you look at the little hover tanks in comparison to the Megas, they're like the same size, but they take up different space. Okay, like, you've got the Megas, they take up, what, 250?
Yep.
And the hover, they're 150?
Yes.
So, that's a pretty big difference, I think. I think that they should be smaller. Okay. Sorry, it was my little rant. I had to get out there because it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look at the little Viper. It takes up 500, and it's a quarter the size of the Mega.
Yeah.
So I think it's more based on effectiveness.
Yes, of course.
But then again, like, the hover tanks really don't seem that effective.
You have to see them at 10, at level 10 and up. But I mean, I believe that they definitely push those out to be some sort of answer for the Spectre. And I think once we see them at level 10 plus, I think we'll really start to see what they're capable of.
At level 1, they only have 310 range.
Yeah.
And that's almost maxed out. I mean, it's over half maxed. Like, it's way up there.
Well, where do you get that it's half maxed?
It's not half. I've got the picture of it in front of
Are
me.
you talking about just because the little bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that bar, if you look on some of the other stuff, when you upgraded it, at one point the bar was already almost at the end. And then when you jump up, all of a sudden the bar gets longer, and they add this shaded green area that extended it. But it's plus you got to remember you get a 20% range boost because it's anti-air once it's in the base for defense.
Okay. But I'm
You're
pretty
kidding,
sure I
John.
saw something that said that it doesn't apply to the hover tank.
Oh, okay, I did not see that. I just assumed that Kixeye said all AA units get that bonus.
Yeah.
No, not all.
It's not part of the unit description, so I'm really not sure about that. So
If it's in the description, then it doesn't have any AA range boost. If it's in the description, then it will. Any hidden range boost before never used to be on the description, but they recently changed that now so that there are no hidden range boosts. So you can tell that AA has the 20% extra range boost. It's just like people made the mistake with the regular Gatling trucks and the elite Gatling trucks, where they thought it got an extra vehicle damage booster, but if it never said it on there, then it wouldn't have got it. So the elite, that's where the elite came in from, where it got the extra damage boost against vehicles.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is there anything else anybody would like to cover before we go?
What is the text on your hat?
Naughty.
Naughty.
No.
The naughty little Santa's helper, that's what it is.
Yeah, Elfie, very. Guys, this is the Valkyrie is based on Midnight Command, how she looks now.
If only.
Where they got that color from. Did anybody in the preview get the dual payload system or anything? Did those pay out in the preview?
There was no point getting them, buddy, because the schematics for the Hellfire units.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
over.
You got no schematics in there.
So you can actually test them out.
It's
There was
just wondering.
pictures posted out in the WC Tech page, but there are no videos currently with them being active on a Hellfire schematic.
Yeah, you actually got two things. You got the Brimstone targeting system, which was rather than arc through the air, the Brimstone missiles travel directly at the target and greatly reduce the risk of being shot down. And you have dual missile payload, which modifies the missile delivery system, allows the Hellfire tank to fire an additional missile. And that one you unlock at wave 40, I believe, unless they've changed it and the brimstone is at 70.
72, I thought it was, but
They might have changed
Did
it.
they put it? They put it at 72, but it used to be at 70 in the second preview. So then they might have changed it to 72 now in the final preview.
Yeah, who knows what it will actually be, but it'll be somewhere around.
We'll find out when it comes live.
Yeah. All right. Any last words? No.
Yeah, guys and boys and girls, if you're stuck in an event and you have questions whatsoever, I always say, go to WC Side Tech page on Facebook, go to Freedom Flyers on Facebook, go to War Commander Wiki, and you find your answers there. And if you didn't find your answers, just ask to the admins; they will answer your questions. Do it. That's all I want to say.
I promised somebody in my sector, Jedi Mind Tricks, that I would give a message to the rest of the sectors to stop farming rogues. He's pissed off with it.
Yes. The most annoying thing that can be done.
Wait, are you talking about stop farming rogues from Hellhound bases?
Yeah, stop telling Jedi to stop taking my Thor bases. Because when I wake up in the morning, I only see Jedi Mind Trick all around me. no offense to them.
And I want to thank Bravo 20 for doing all the work on the behemoths, for being able to make my research easier. Helped a lot. Thank you very much, Bravo.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Well, good luck, Commanders, and happy hunting.
Happy hunting.